Welcome back. In previous lecture we have seen that how to represent a floating point number, and then we have seen that how to represent a floating point number in IEEE 754 format. Okay, so we have two variants of representation, that is single precision as well as double precision, and in today's lecture we will be looking at how addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, these four operations can be performed by floating point numbers. Okay, so first we are going to look at addition and subtraction. Okay, so these are the three steps which you have to follow for addition or subtraction using floating point numbers. So if you have to add two floating point numbers, let's say you have 0.5 into 10 raised to power 3 and you have to add 1.5454 into 10 raised to power 5. Okay, so what you have to do, first you have to compare the magnitude of the two exponents. Okay, so first you have to align the exponents. If the exponents values of two numbers are same, then only you can add. Okay, you cannot add 0.5 to 1.45 if the exponents are different. Okay, so compare the magnitude of the two exponents and make suitable alignment of the two exponent with respect to a smaller magnitude exponent. Okay, second, after aligning the exponent, you perform the addition or subtraction. That would be your second step. And third step is, after addition you perform normalization by shifting the mantissa and adjusting the exponent. Okay, so that is how you perform addition and subtraction. We will see an example. So you have to add 1.1100 multiplied by 2 raised to power 4 and 1.100 into 2 raised to power 2. So that is binary representation of a floating point number. So this is 1.11 into 2 raised to power 4 and this is 1.1 into 2 raised to power 2. So the first step is you have to compare the magnitude of the two exponents. So this is 4, this is 2, and make suitable alignment of two exponents with the smaller magnitude exponent. So you have to adjust this 2. You have to make adjustment to the smaller exponent. So a smaller exponent is 2, so you convert it to 4. So this number would be converted as 0.0110 multiplied by 2 raised to power 4. So we have shifted this radix point 2 bits to the left. Okay, and we are getting 2 raised to power 4 exponent. Now both of the exponents are same. This is also 2 raised to power 4, this is also 2 raised to power 4. Then you can perform the addition or subtraction. So you have to perform the addition or subtraction. So 1.1100, so this mantissa 1.1100 and this mantissa, that is 0.0110, are added together. So it would be 10.001 into 2 raised to power 4. Okay, so if you add, so what you do, 0 plus 0 would be 0, 0 plus 1 would be 1, 1 plus 1 would be 10, 1 carry, 1 plus 1 would be 10. Okay, so this would be 10.001 and you have to perform normalization. So normalization means the first bit after radix point must be 1. Okay, so that means 0.100 into 2 raised to power 6. So that is how you have normalized, and we have assumed that there are only 4 bits are allowed after radix point. So if the answer is 10.001 into 2 raised to power 4, if we perform normalization, that would be 0.10001. So this is 0.10001 here. So we have truncated this bit because only 4 bits are allowed after radix point. So how to map this into hardware? So this is your hardware circuitry. First you have to compare both of the exponent. So exponent E2, exponent E1, and this is your exponent comparison logic. Okay, this is your mantissa M1 and this is your mantissa M2. So you compare the exponent, take the smaller exponent, okay, and align the mantissa. So this is where you align the mantissa in proper format. So using this exponent comparison logic, so this is how you align mantissa. After that you add or subtract the mantissa. Here you are getting the result. Result includes exponent and mantissa. Then you perform normalization and rounding off operation. Okay, so this will result into result exponent, and this is your result mantissa after rounding off. Okay, so in the previous example we have performed rounding off operation up to 4 bits after radix point. Now we come to the multiplication, how we are going to perform the multiplication of floating point numbers. So we have already seen the multiplication of integers, signed integers and unsigned integers. So what we have in case of floating point multiplication, so let's say one number is x is equal to mx into 2 raised to power a, mx is mantissa of x, and 2 raised to power a is this is 2 raised to power, and this is your exponent of first number. Another number is y is equal to my, so mantissa of y multiplied by 2 raised to power b, so b is the exponent of this number. Okay, now we have to multiply these pair of floating point numbers, which are mx into 2 raised to power a and my into 2 raised to power b. So how you represent the floating point multiplication? Mx and my would be multiplied, and when you multiply two exponent, those exponents are actually added together. So if you multiply 2 raised to power a multiplied by 2 raised to power b, so what happens? These a and b are added together and the base would remain same. So 2 raised to power a plus b would be there. Okay, so this would be your overall result, that is mx into my multiplied by 2 raised to power a plus b. Exponents are added together and mantissas are multiplied together. Okay, so first step is compute the exponent of the product by adding of exponents together, then multiply the two mantissas. And the third one, which is the last step, would be same as addition and subtraction, that is you have to perform normalization, and after that you have to perform rounding of the final product. So let's say we have an example which is says that x is equal to 1.000 into 2 raised to power minus 2, y is minus 1.010 into 2 raised to power minus 1. Okay, so exponent in first case is minus 2, exponent in second case is minus 1. Now you add exponent, so minus 2 plus minus 1 would be minus 3. Then you multiply the mantissas, so 1.000 multiplied by minus 1.010. So you have multiplied and got minus 1.01. Okay, so this is the product you got, that is minus 1.0100 into 2 raised to power 3. So here also we have assumed that the 4 places after radix point. Okay, so that is why we have truncated these two zeros. So this is how you perform multiplication in a simple conventional manner. So this is your 1.000, this is minus 1.010. So 0 multiplied with 1.000, all zeros, 1 multiplied by this number, so 1000, 0 multiplied with this number, so 0000, and 1 multiplied with this number, so this is 0001. Now you add all these partial products, so it would be 1.01, which I have written here. Now you have to perform the rounding off. So this is a negative number. Okay, so if you have a positive number, it would be 0 point, and after that 4 places after radix. So what is the hardware circuitry for this multiplication? This is exponent E2, this is exponent E1, this is mantissa M1, this is mantissa M2. In the previous example, please see that if you perform rounding off and normalization, what it would be? This must be 0 point, this radix point will come here. So this is 0.101 into 2 raised to power, because we have shifted here one more time, so this would be 2 raised to power minus 2. Okay, so we have not performed normalization and rounding off here. Okay, so this what would be the hardware circuitry? Exponent E2, exponent E1, mantissa M1, mantissa M2, and after that exponents are added together, mantissas are multiplied together, and this is your result normalization and rounding off logic. Okay, so thereafter you will get resultant exponent and resultant mantissa. So this is how floating point multiplication is performed. Now we are going to look at floating point division. Okay, so this is again very simple. So in case of floating point division, let's say we have pair of floating point numbers, which is mx into 2 raised to power a, and another number is my into 2 raised to power b. Mx represents mantissa of x, 2 raised to power a represents exponent of x, and similar case is with the y also. My represents mantissa and b represents the exponent of y. So if you perform x divided by y, what would happen? Mx would be divided by y, my, and exponents are subtracted from one another. So if you divide 2 raised to power a divided by 2 raised to power b, so that means base would remain same and you have to compute a minus b. Okay, so a general algorithm, or these are the steps you have to follow for division of floating point numbers. So compute the exponents of the result by subtracting the exponent. Okay, so if you want to find out the overall exponent, what you do, you subtract the both of the exponents. After that, divide the mantissa and decide the sign of the result. And the third step is normalize the result and round off the resulting value if required. So let's say this is an example, we have considered the previous example itself. Now you subtract exponent. If you have to divide x by y, what you do, you subtract exponent. So minus 2 minus minus 1, so resulting exponent would be minus 1. Now you divide the mantissa. So 1.0000 would be divided by minus 1.01. How you perform division? So this is 1, okay, and this is your 1.25. You convert it to decimal. So this is 1, this is 1.25. You divide 1.1 divided by 1.25. This is 0.8. Okay, so 0.8 is represented as 0.1100, 1100, 1100. Okay, so if you convert 0.8 into binary, this would be 0.1100. Okay, and if you perform a rounding off, this would be minus 0.1101 into 2 raised to power minus 1. So this would be your result. Okay, so exponent e2, exponent e1, mantissa m1, mantissa m2, exponents are subtracted one by exponents are subtracted together from one to the another. So let's say e1 minus e2 or e2 minus e1, and mantissa m1 and m2 are divided from each other. Okay, after that we will normalize and round off, and from here also we will get resultant exponent and resultant mantissa. So this is your floating point division circuitry which is mapped to the hardware. Okay, so this is for addition, subtraction, multiplication and division operation which we can perform using floating point numbers. Okay, so this is for today's lecture. So in the previous two lectures we have completed the floating point arithmetic portion. So in the next week, what would be covering? We will cover the arithmetic pipeline. So this is the start of our fourth unit, that is pipelining. So we will, in pipelining we will discuss arithmetic pipelining, Flynn's taxonomy and few other important topics. Okay, so thank you for today's lecture, and we'll meet in the next week.